What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
All right. Well, it's Monday night. It's not the usual night for live streams. There's a story behind that. We'll get to it in a second, but it's Monday night. Monday night, Radio Baloney Live. I am your host, Richie Baloney. And let me tell you, I screwed up. So I told everybody that this Monday night stream was going to be Rumble Premium only because I can't read, apparently. So listen to this. So there's a new partner program for Rumble. This month, you have to get 30 hours of live streaming to get into the partner program. I would do that normally easily anyway. But what I thought I was reading was that you also have to do 5 hours of Rumble Premium, just Rumble Premium. So only Rumble Premium members. So that's what I read. And I didn't, I guess I'm terrible at reading. Maybe I'm illiterate. I don't know. But so I told everybody I was going to do the stream tonight, and it would only be for, and this would help get to my 5 hours of Rumble Premium streaming for premium members only, right? And so I go to start up the stream, and I'm looking for the option to make it premium only, and I can't find it. And I'm spending like 20 minutes trying to figure out how the hell does this work? So I went back in again, and I took a look. So what exactly did it say? It says that I've got to do 30 hours of live streaming this month, which I would do anyway. And then on March 1st, when the new program starts, the partner program starts, which is like a profit sharing thing for Rumble Premium. Maybe I'll make a bit more money. I don't know. But on March 1st, so the option to do premium only isn't even available until March 1st. So this whole thing was just a massive, massive fuck up. I mean, not really. Because, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just one extra stream. But the thing is, I told people that they wouldn't be able to watch it if they weren't Rumble Premium members. So now there's my regular audience. A lot of my regular audience isn't premium members. So they think they're going to watch because they think they can't. Well, there's Nevada. How you doing? How you doing, Nevada? So it's not a Rumble Premium only stream tonight, after all, because you can't even set the stream to that until March 1st. It's the thing, once you get into the partner program, then you've got to do 5 hours, but it's not even available until then. I need to learn how to read. It sucks being illiterate. God damn it. What a mess. What a fine mess I've got myself into this time, huh? Nevada says he's doing well, and thank you for asking. Well, thank you for being here. Rosie, how you doing? Did you hear what happened? It's not a Rumble Premium stream only because that's not even available till March 1st. I totally misread the eligibility requirements for this new partner program. There's not even an option to do premium only until March 1st. Then I've got to do 5 hours, but I only have to do 30 hours of streaming, which I do anyway. I do that in my sleep. Most of the streaming I do is in my sleep, actually. I don't know if you guys can tell. That's what those funny noises are when I'm having a really good dream. Rosie says, update that. No. Now, don't you bring up the U word. All right. Rosie's doing great. Glad to hear that, Rosie. Good to see you. So yeah, so most of the regular gang isn't even going to know that they can watch this stream. So that's the bummer. That's the thing that's a bummer about this. I got tons of stuff set up for tonight too, but because here's the thing, we're going to go tomorrow anyway. So now I'm wondering, should I leave most of the stuff that I've got for tomorrow, and then we'll just do some different stuff? Because again, most of the gang is not going to be here because I told them they wouldn't be able to watch. Let's see. Launchpad said, so common sense and make mistakes. Congratulations, you're human. Do you think so? Maybe I am human after all. I don't know. Kind of a bit of a letdown, actually. I thought I was some sort of demigod, but no, maybe not. Maybe I am just human after all. Maybe I'm just common scum. Maybe I'm just part of the hoi polloi. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
small fringe minority.
Might be. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just do fun stuff tonight. Maybe we'll just do fun stuff. Maybe we'll just do some, and then the actual news stuff we'll do tomorrow. But maybe we'll do like some, I don't know. Maybe we'll do some.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Maybe we'll do some, maybe we'll even do a little bit of. Wait a second, human? That doesn't mean I'm going to die, does it? Oh, God. What am I doing with my life? Shit. All right. I better make something of myself fast. Let's see. Nawada says, so if you do 8 hours a week, that's 32 hours in a month. Yeah, we do. I do more. I think I do typically, not at least 9 hours, probably more like 10 hours a week, maybe more. I mean, if we do 2 3-hour long ones on Sunday and Tuesday, there's 6, and then 4 hours. Yeah, 10. I think we do like about 10 hours. So easily we pass that 30 hours point. So we're going to pass that easily, and especially now doing an extra stream tonight. Let's see. Macross, how you doing? Good to see you. Fuck it live. We'll do it live. Let's see. Trump memes. What do you guys want to do? What do we do? I think we'll do like the main news stuff I've got. I think I'm just going to save it for tomorrow. But I thought maybe we'd go through and just do some searches under the Government of Canada website, grants and contributions, and we can take a look at some of the insane spending and corruption from the Canadian government, because DOGE is all the rage in the States. So this is fun too. It's fun to look at the Canadian stuff. It's actually depressing. Like, I looked at this, like I thought, Trudeau had that Aga Khan thing. There was a scandal. Let's go to the scandal here. The Aga Khan affair was a political scandal in Canada involving Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. In 2017, Trudeau was found guilty of violating sections 5, 11, 12, and 21 of the Federal Conflict of Interest Act. Conflict of interest, by accepting private island vacations, gifts, and flights from the Aga Khan. He's just like us, Justin Trudeau. He's one of us. He's the common man, a philanthropist and spiritual leader of the Shia Ismaili religion. This was deemed significant as the Aga Khan Foundation, a registered lobby, had received over $50 million of federal funding in 2016. So I guess they cut that off, huh? Well, here's 2015, $55 million. How much did they say that? Over $50 million. But I guess they must have cut that off because it just all looks too corrupt, doesn't it? Well, there's 2020, $49 million. Wait a second. I thought that was all corruption. I thought this was that conflict of interest stuff. $49 million in 2020. Well, it's 3 years after 2017. What else have we got here? Aga Khan Foundation 2020, another $47 million. So what's that? 47 and 49? So that's $96 million. How about that? It really is crazy. Another one here, 2016, $24 million. 2018, $20 million. This is right after the scandal. I mean, look, there's no end to this, of money being millions and millions and millions of dollars constantly just flowing in. Like, it literally just goes on forever. Like here, Syria crisis, multi-year, multi-sectoral program in Syria. What? Why is that any of our business? I think we need to start making this stuff not our business. Here, $10 million for Afghanistan's Women's Empowerment Program, 2016. Really? I don't know. I think Afghanistan's kind of made it clear how they want to run things. I think they've made that perfectly clear. It's back the way they like it. Let's see. What are we doing a little more recently here? 2020. Foundations for Health and Empowerment. Project aims to enhance equitable development and empowerment for women, girls, adolescents, their families, and communities, and select. The Taliban has let us know we were just completely wasting our time with that shit, right? 47 million flushed down the toilet. The Taliban's made it clear, actually, maybe keep your money, or maybe we'll take the money and not use it for that and just buy weapons or something. 47 million. So this was before Biden pulled out and the Taliban immediately took over. But I mean, it all sounds nice. This is the thing with the lefty shit, right? It all sounds so nice. I mean, who can argue? Enhance equitable development and empowerment for women, girls, adolescents, their families, and communities. Okay, the problem is that the second there was an opportunity, Afghanistan said, nope, wasting your money. No, we'll take it from here. Not interested. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? Let's see. So this is the same year, another 49 million there. Aims to improve educational systems at the primary level and to strengthen women's empowerment and gender equality. Hold on a second. Gender equality in Kenya, Madagascar, Mozambique, Tanzania, and Uganda. I don't know. Maybe they can just figure it out themselves. None of this seems to be helping. It just seems to be money. I mean, how much of this money actually just gets stolen? How much of it just goes to build a new palace for whoever in Kenya, Madagascar, Mozambique, Tanzania, and Uganda? Probably most of it. Like maybe if it was improve the educational systems at the primary level and to strengthen men's empowerment, maybe they're just giving the money for the wrong things. Maybe they need to start worrying about men's and boys' empowerment. Maybe that'll help, because the women, they're just not performing there, right? It's not going great. Maybe it's none of our business in the fucking first place. Maybe what happens in Kenya, Madagascar, Mozambique, maybe we should just say, you guys got it. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know anything about you, so maybe we're just not going to get involved. All right. But anyway, so we can look through a bunch of that stuff. And you guys can give me suggestions on what we should look for. All right. What are you guys saying? Let's go back to our cooking show for a second. Dramus Eve's got that first like on YouTube. That's double good karma for you, Dramus. Nice work. Let's see. Rosie says, you are better than just human. You are created in the image of your creator. But just me, though, right? You mean just me. Better just mean just me. No, I know. It's all very well. Let's see. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. And what do we got here? Let's see. Nawada says, for your 5-hour premium, you should just play Trump memes for the entire length. We'll do that. I've got some time to plan that now that I realize that I actually don't even have the option to do premium only until March 1st. And I would just never do that, because I'd rather just people be able to see everybody be able to see the show. If somebody just stumbles upon it, right? But for this partner program, I'm going to have to do that. But yeah, I've got until March 1st to figure out what we'll do. Maybe we'll think of something really different for that. I don't know. Because we could all kind of use a break from the news occasionally. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? What's this? That's a lot of nuts thing. What's that? What's that in the chat? That's a lot of nuts. What's that link? Rosie says, what is equitable development? I guess everybody has to develop at exactly the same rate and end up in exactly the same place. That is what equity is, right? It's not equality. It's just more Marxist bullshit. It's more Marxist bullshit. You know what?
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Sure does, Norm. Let's see. Nevada says, bringing everyone down to ghetto level or homeless. Well, this is the thing about equity. Wherever it's been tried, it does not result in everybody being lifted up. It results in everybody, except the people at the very bottom, everybody else being brought to their level. That's what happens every single time. Hey, do you like waiting in line for 12 hours for bread? And when you get to the end of the line, there's no fucking bread? Because that's equity. That's what equity is. Let's see. Nevada says it's the same shit that's been going on there for centuries. It really is. I mean, it is telling, right? Like Afghanistan, the second they had the opportunity to go back to the Stone Age, they did. I'm not saying they're bad people. It's just this is just a different culture that we clearly don't understand. Let's see. Spambot says, I did not get notified of the stream. I'm trying to interpret that. This is the thing with just letters, right? You miss all the nuance, right? So I don't know if this is, I did not get notified of the stream, or if it's like, hey, I didn't get notified of the stream. I don't know what it is. This is why I hate having text conversations. It's so easy to misinterpret, right? I like the chat. The chat's great. I'm just kidding around. But how many friendships have been broken over a misinterpreted tweet? Like they just didn't get the nuance of it, right? They didn't get the tone. It was a joke, but it came off as if it was serious or angry or something. Anyway. Jamis says, try enabling chat for all on X. Ask Grok. Well, I did. I did ask Grok all about the chat stuff, and yeah, it just said, yeah, it just starts automatically, and there you go. I don't know. Let me pull it up. Because it's got chat, but I don't know. I mean, you have to be a X premium, whatever it is on X, to do chat. I guess I didn't realize that. I am actually. So I've got the thing, so I can myself. So I don't have to worry about that, but I understand some people don't. So, it's really hard. A lot of nuts refers to all the male people and dogs I live with. Do you know what was horrible? I was lying on the couch with Mr. Snacks, and he was lying next to me, and I put my thumb down, and I felt something I didn't like the texture of it, and I looked, and it was his balls. And I went, ugh. And then I went and washed my hands. That's the thing with dogs, because they lie on their back and they put their legs out, and they don't care. They're not modest. In fact, they seem fairly proud of it. Let's see. Let's see. Spambot says equitable development. My ex-wife said lucky women have equal shaped breasticles. That she complained that symmetry doesn't exist. Oh dear. Spambot says I never complain. He says he never complained. Well, good. They'll not get you anywhere. So for her, equitable was equal left and right. Huh. Well, that's interesting. That's not something I ever even thought about. Let's see. Spambot says if a friend becomes an ex-friend over a tweet, then they are not a good friend. Yes, there's lots of people that aren't good friends out there. Tons of them. There's lots of imbeciles in the world. There is lots of utter and total retards in the world. Except I'm not talking about people with Down syndrome, because they're lovely people. They're lovely people. Probably the loveliest people in the world. I'm just talking about, like, I don't know, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I'm sure she, or as Gatsat calls her, occasional Cortex, I'm sure she has lost a friend. I'm talking about people like that. I'm talking about like Anna Navarro or like Joy Reid or, somebody like that, Joy Behar. They've all lost friends because over text. Whoopi Goldberg. All right. Well, should we do a little bit more digging in? Should we do a little bit more digging into what Canada's spending its money on, or what the Liberal government has been spending Canada's money on? So, I think we all saw so if you type in right wing, what do you get? What has the Canadian government under Trudeau been very concerned with? You see big grants like $2 million right-wing extremism in Canada, Ontario Institute of Technology, right-wing extremism in the Canadian Air Force is $750,000 for that. Because what you definitely want is a woke military, because that won't affect effectiveness, fighting effectiveness, and lethality at all, making the military woke, being obsessed with identity in the military. No, that's excellent. Let's see. What's this? Right-wing extremism. 400,000 there. That's from Public Safety Canada. Right-wing extremism. Lots of it. Right-wing, 400,000. 360,000 right-wing extremism. 300,000 for right-wing extremism. It just goes on and on and on. Well, I guess until here. Then we get to efficient high-order methods for solutions of hyperbolic problems. Now it starts again. Right-wing extremism. Go to the next one. Right-wing populism. That's a terrible kind. That's a terrible kind. But this doesn't even include like the activist groups. So that's like education. That's like university groups. This is not even including the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, which gets hundreds of thousands of dollars from the government. And there's probably 100 organizations like that of some kind. But then when we type in left wing, there must be something on left wing extremism. Let's see. Zero records. Zero records. Huh. Nothing for left wing extremism in Canada, because that's just totally not a concern at all. Hold on a second. Fact check. Let's see. So what happened here? So there we are. Here's some people with the Palestinian stuff on. Canadian flag burning at Vancouver anti-Israel demonstration condemned. Huh. And what were they saying?
Burn, burn! Israel, burn, burn! Israel, burn, burn!
Fanning the flames. Politicians across the country accusing speakers at a downtown pro-Palestinian rally of crossing the line.
Well, they were also saying, they don't show it in there, they're also saying Canada burn, United States burn, Israel burn, burn. These aren't right-wingers. These are leftists. This is extremists. This is extremism, right? I think the people that were firing that were shooting at the Jewish schools while all this Palestine stuff is going on, I kind of feel like those weren't right-wingers. I kind of feel like those were left-wingers. But no concern, of course not, because it can't possibly be extremism if it's leftist. It's just some big misunderstanding. All right, what else should we look for in here? Hold on, what else? You guys, I want you guys to tell me what to look for. Launchpad says there's a lot of 85s out there. What do you call 85 IQs? Let's see. And the average IQ is what, about 101 or something like that? Or is it 95? I'm not sure. Let's see. Launchpad, average IQ in America is 92. Let's see. Rosie says, how does burning a flag show anti-Israel? Well, if you're burning an Israel flag, right? But also they're burning a Canadian flag and American flags and they're shouting death to Canada, death to the United States, death to Israel. That feels like extremism to me. Let's see. Macross says, Palestinian, nobody wants them. Well, their neighbors don't want them, right? There's a pattern of taking in refugees, and then they foment revolution. That happened in Lebanon, Jordan as well. They almost started a civil war there. So, Egypt does not want them because, they see them as people who will cause trouble. And that's just a fact. Let's see. Launchpad says 92 to 98. Sorry. Okay. I'm just going to type something random in. Let's see. Grants and contributions. Well, how come the Canadian Anti-Hate Network didn't come up? Canadian Anti-Hate Network. Let's try that. Because I just had them up the other day. Huh. They must be in a different category. All right. Well, let's just stay on this. Grants for, I don't know, what should I look up? What do you guys want me to look up? We've looked up hate. Well, let's look up hate right now. Hate. Well, we did this in the last stream. So let's see. Creating support groups for people who have been confronted with acts of hate. Hate. The problem is hate is so ill-defined now that it really just can be anything. Just disagreeing can be hate. Creating support groups for people who have been confronted with acts of hate. What about people that have actually had a crime committed against them? There's $10 million for that one. Victims of crime assistance. Another $10 million for that. What about just remove the whole hate thing, because it's entirely subjective. It seems to be just a political weapon, right? Okay, support for people who had an actual crime committed against them, not hate. Let's see. Here we go. Reinforcing community resilience against disinformation in Mali. 5 million there. What's this one? Building a culture of peaceful pluralism in Myanmar and Sri Lanka. Tackling rising hate speech. It's none of our business. None of this is any of our business. What happens in Mali is not any of our business. All right, let's see. What are you guys anti-Canadian group? Pastor Rapture says they start shit every place they go. It seems to be true. I think you're right about that. Let's see. Well, we'll put in chocolate. Sure. Chocolate. Let's see. Is the Canadian government giving grants for chocolate? 1.2 million grant. So this is grants and contributions. Equipment acquisitions. This project aims to increase the production capacity of a company specializing in chocolate manufacturing. So I don't know. I mean, at least it's helping like a business, but is it a good investment? Is it like a DEI investment in this company for some reason? I don't know. Canadian Economic Development for Quebec. Let's see. Acquisition of digital equipment and marketing. The project aims to improve productivity, increase production capacity, and implement a marketing strategy for a company specialized in chocolate making. I feel like it's the sort of thing that impeding into markets that it just shouldn't. I mean, companies should be able to sink or swim, I think. And I'm not sure there's much point. You end up just getting inefficient companies, I think. I mean, look, if you've got to subsidize for something major, like a pipeline or something that's going to bring in enormous amounts of money for decades, okay, you're talking about something different there. I'm not wild about the government interfering really in any way too much in just business and the markets. Here's $800,000. The project aims to increase the production capacity and competitiveness of a company specializing in the manufacture of organic vegan protein chocolate bars. Well, I think you know what I think of vegan, right? No. Kami gets nothing. Vegan protein chocolate bars? No, thank you. Take that money away immediately. Take that back and buy something useful. Buy some non-vegan protein chocolate bars with that and just give them to people. Give them to hungry children. Newfoundland Chocolate Company, $750,000. Acquire production equipment, undertake improvements to manufacturing facility. Again, is that really something the government should be doing? Because you're giving an advantage to them over another company potentially. I don't know if there's any other chocolate companies there. But you're kind of putting your finger on the scale. I mean, maybe if there's no other companies doing it there, maybe then. Let's see. What's Gestation Altered Direct International? What the hell is it? 600,000. Acquisition of equipment and expansion of facilities aims at increasing blah, blah, blah. Specialized in coffee roasting and chocolate manufacturing. Okay, so they're in the chocolate business. That's for sure. All right. We didn't see any trans chocolate, though. So I'm a little disappointed about that. Did somebody type in love? Let's just type in love. Love. Let's see if the Canadian government spent money on love. Let's see. Expert Collective, 2.7 million for the love of youth. Related to learning and skills? I don't know. That seems all right, I guess. Calgary, Alberta. I'm sure they know what they're doing there. All right. Nothing here seems too objectionable. I mean, there's a question of whether or not the government should just be spending the money in the first place when you consider that we've got an enormous debt. When you consider that the transfer payments for healthcare from the federal government to the provinces is now, I believe, less than maintaining the interest on our national debt. So that tells you just how much national debt there is. Servicing the interest on the national debt is now more than federal transfers for healthcare to the provinces. That's not a good sign. All right. Let's see if we're doing any of those tranny comic books. Comic book. Let's try that. Let's see. Canadian Heritage is spending 5.4 million on some. It's not giving us any details on this. Livres Canada Books, 4.7. It's a lot. Oh, that's and this is going back. So that the latest one here is 2017, 4 million. So it looks like they just basically getting 4 million a year. Let's see. Canada Book Fund, Indigo Books. Do we really need to give Indigo 3.5 million? Let's see. That was for 2020 and 3.3 million 2023. Again, do we really need to be giving that? I mean, when you consider that, like, we kind of really have to be counting our pennies. Let's see. Here's 3 million for Big Bad Boo Studios. Isla Maganda, Philippines, peace education for conflict-affected children. So, I mean, I feel bad for them, but it's really none of our business. Another 3 million there. So when was that? That was 2023. This is 2023. So there's 6 million. Are we really doing any good? I mean, I just kind of doubt it. It's kind of like the climate change thing, right? Like Canada could be erased off the map tomorrow and the global climate would not be affected one bit, right? It's kind of the same with all of this stuff. We could just stop doing it and the world isn't even going to notice. Let's see. All right, what else? What else? What do you guys want to look for? Well, what are the DEI keywords you guys want me to look? Let's see. Have you guys got anything in here? All right. Well, I guess we'll just go to the spicy stuff. Transgender. Anything under that? So, Urgent Action Fund Africa, 25 million. Renewed Women's Voice and Leadership Program in Crisis and Conflict Affected Concept. What does that even mean? All right. Canada's renewed Women's Voice and Leadership Program, which supports women's rights organizations, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersect plus groups and women human rights defend. It's just everybody except white men, straight white men. Just say that. This is for, so the Women's Leadership Program is for everybody except for white men, a straight white man. Just say that. Is it for women? Well, it's for women and everybody else except for straight white men, which seems to be all of it. Enhance enjoyment of human rights by women and girls and all their diversity, and to advance gender equality in countries where, I don't know, and other countries. Okay, so you know what? If it was like building wells in Africa, I don't know, that'd be something to say, well, they're building clean water, right? If it was that, you go, well, we can't really afford to spend money on other countries, considering the state that Canada's in. But, you know, building wells in Africa, you know, at least getting some clean water. Probably half the money is being stolen, or 90% is being stolen anyway. But, you know, hey, at least what is this? This is to support. This is a Women's Voice and Leadership Program, supports women's rights organizations, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex plus groups and women human rights defenders to enhance enjoyment. I don't know. How do you measure the enhanced enjoyment part? Why are you just building some fucking wells that'll actually do some good? No, 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 no. No $25 million for enhanced enjoyment of human rights. I don't even know what that means. Do I have to do it? I think I do. Kami gets nothing. Let's see. Well, United Nations Children's Fund. I mean, again, it all sounds like nice stuff, right? We want to help children. I'm not sure any of this actually does anything, though. Let's see. International Development Research Center, Renewed Women's Voice and Leadership, Feminist Learning Partnership, 9.8 million. What does that actually mean is the thing? Supports local and regional women's rights to organize rights organizations, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex. Just, okay. The women's thing is everybody except for straight white men. Again, just put it in there. That's obviously what you mean. Advance gender equality in developing countries. Gender equality in developing countries is none of Canada's business. No. Like, isn't this colonialism? Like all the anti-colonialists, the people who do the land acknowledgements and talk about the settler colonist society, and isn't this that? Isn't this why are they putting their noses in all these other countries' business? Maybe they don't want it, right? Maybe they don't want the they don't want Canada to promote the lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, blah, 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 enjoyment of whatever. Maybe they don't want it. Maybe we should stop putting our nose in. Maybe they've got different cultures. Maybe it's none of our goddamn business. Gender links, that's from this last year. 6 million renewed women's voice in leadership, South Africa. Maybe it's none of our business. Maybe they don't want it. South Asia Partnership, Pakistan, 5 million democracy and empowered women. Maybe if they just changed it all to empowered men, maybe that would make some difference. Right? This whole empowered women thing, it doesn't seem to be changing the world a lot, just like how carbon taxes don't seem to be changing global climate at all either. So I don't know. Maybe it's none of our goddamn business. Here we go. It just goes on and on. The obsession. Guides, resilience of Francophone alphabet movements in North Africa. I don't know. You know, I'm going to say something now. I hope this doesn't sound insensitive. I don't give a fuck about anything that's happening in North Africa. I consider it to be none of my goddamn business. That's the North Africans' business. They can do as they please. Hey, I don't want to be a colonist. I don't want to colonize them with my white supremacist culture from Canada. I don't want to do that. I just want to live a quiet life and let them do their culture. I mean, where's the cultural relativism that we're supposed to love so much, right? That's their business. Right? Why is the government of Canada trying to colonize and probably genocide? Because I mean, that's basically the same thing as genocide, right? Why are they trying to genocide North African culture? I say leave them alone. It's our own goddamn business. There we go. It just goes on. And look, it's going to be page after page. Let's go to page 11. There we go. Still there. What this obsession? This absolute obsession. Simon Fraser University, building their community, a workshop for and by transgender and gender nonconforming youth. 14,000 to gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered Pride Center. You know what? I think that the G's and the L's and the B's need to just say, actually, we don't want to be part of all the other letters. We're just kind of different. We're not the same. We're not the T's or the Q's. We're not even really sure what's going on there. We certainly don't know what's happening with the 2 S's or the plus. I mean, what is the plus? It's just a bunch of stuff. They don't know what it's called, but they're sure it exists. And it's good. The G's and the L's especially need to just say, hold on a second. Wait a second. We didn't sign on for all this stuff. We didn't sign on for the child sex changes. I pray one day that day will come. It's not, I mean, it's all right. Anyway, I think there are a lot of G's and L's that are like, hold on a second. This doesn't represent me. I mean, there's G's and L's who say that, like, the Pride Parade, doesn't represent them at all, because Pride parades have basically just become fetish marches now. Let's see. See, they always they lump them together. They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing, but they lump all the letters together. That's why it's like 20 letters long now. It's so that if you criticize any of it, they can say, "Oh, you're against everybody." Say, "No. I just don't think that children can consent to, like taking drugs that will prevent them from growing into a healthy adult body." No, you're against gays. It's like, what? No, don't care. Literally don't care. I don't even care about adults, what they do. That's their business. I mean, I think there should be guardrails in place for just obviously mentally ill people. Or, I mean, there's some debate about whether the whole thing is just mental illness, and I think there's some merit to that argument. But anyway, adults, right? My libertarian side says, okay, if you're really determined, all right, whatever. But not kids, for God's sakes, who don't understand what it's like to even be in a healthy, mature adult body. All right. Anyway, it goes on and on. So this is what the 11th page. What is this? So this guy got $1,400 for sexual health behavior and service use among gay, bisexual, and transgender men who have sex with men in the region of Waterloo, Ontario. So I don't understand sexual. Is this just they gave him some money to spend on OnlyFans? I don't know. It seems fairly trivial, too trivial, really, for the government to even be interested in it. All right, how many pages is that? So that's the last page of that. Just from this section. Of course, there's going to be way more spent on it. Where are we going next? All right, what did you guys say? Did you guys put any more in there? What about just like random ethnic groups? I'm going to put in Zulu. Well, let's see. There's Zulu Media. They got $46,000, but that's it. National Research Council Canada. All right. What else can we put in there? How about body positive? Oh, positive. Let's see. Next Star Energy. Positioning. Let's see. So I got to figure out how to get into like the arts grants, because that's, I think, where the real gold is going to be. No, nothing there. All right, give me some suggestions. Let's see. What are you guys putting in here? Let's see. What do you guys got? How about intersectionality? Intersectional. Oh, intersections. Well, they got 241 million for intersections, but obviously maintaining streets is good. Let's see. What have we got here? Every single thing is like organization Women and Gender Equality Canada. Like, there's so much wokeness. How much is this? That's 61 million. Government of British Columbia Finance. Let's see. How about this one? What's this? There's holy shit. 29 million. Save the Children Canada. The project's primary beneficiaries are adolescent girls between the ages of 10 and 19, both in and out of school, with a particular focus on girls facing intersectional discrimination. Intersectional discrimination, such as those living in extreme poverty or remote locations or with disabilities. So that is obviously like an equity lens that's getting 29 million. All right, what else? Let's look for some more. What else have we got? Grants and contributions. What should we look? Dogs? Let's look dogs. I like dogs. Let's see. I'm okay with the government spending money on dogs, I think. Got like rescue dogs and stuff in there. Everybody loves dogs. All right, I'm okay. I'm okay with the dogs. But yeah, do spend a lot of money on it, though. You have to think a lot of this stuff could be trimmed down, right? All right. I'm just kind of drawing a blank. Let's see. How about fat? In fat. Let's see. I mean, as you go through, I mean, it's just all this random stuff. Canary biofuels. Objective of this project is commercialization of a first to Canada biodiesel manufacturing process to convert plant oils and animal fats. So there's 3 million, but as you go through this, you see it's just like the millions after millions after millions on all of these things, and some of them seem fine, right? But obviously, when we're at, I don't know, what, about 1.4 trillion in debt right now, it's been doubled under Trudeau. Like, gonna have to go through and start cutting this stuff, and it's going to be a monumental task. There's got to be stuff that you see that you don't think, oh, that's ludicrous. You just think, well, is it that necessary? I mean, you just each one of these pages, right? You're getting into the tens of millions. And it's all this stuff that you've never heard of. It's just happening. They're just giving money for it, right? You wonder how much of this is really essential. How much of this could just be left actually just to, the private sector, and they'll do it anyway, even if you don't give them money. Let's see. All right. Let me check something quickly. All right. I don't know. I want to look for one more thing. What I need to do is find. Let's see. Let's look something up here. Hold on a sec. Hold on one sec. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da. Nope, not there. All right. Building communities through arts and heritage supports community celebrations such as, okay, let's see if they give us any information on what is this or what they're spending on. Let's see. It doesn't really give us anything from Canadian Heritage. Should we go there? No, fuck it. I should have done more work before the stream. Anyway, we found a bunch of silly stuff. Maybe we'll look for one more thing. You guys got one more? Actually, let's get into disinformation. Disinformation. Well, here's one. There's almost 7 million. German Marshall Fund of the United States. What? Why are you giving money to that? Relocating staff and operations within Ukraine, blah, 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 providing international support, blah, blah, blah. Countering disinformation, which means information, which means spreading disinformation. So there's $7 million to misinform people. What do we got here? Search for common ground, reinforcing community resilience against disinformation in Mali. 5.3 million. Did we look at that one earlier? Search for common ground again. There's 5 million, October 2020. Myanmar, disinformation in Myanmar. Internews Network 4.6. Yeah, we saw this one earlier. International Republican Institute, accessing and countering state-sponsored disinformation. $3 million almost for that. Global Affairs Canada, $2.5 million. And let's see, hate speech, misinformation, disinformation, collaborating with the UN. We should never be collaborating with the UN on anything. Let's see, that's from 2023 to 2026. Yikes. Countering disinformation with civic education in Colombia, $2.5 million. Disinformation in Colombia is none of our goddamn business. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we've already seen these ones. What's this one? Journalists for Human Rights. Providing training to journalists to identify disinformation on COVID-19. Like, aren't journalists are supposed to be already trained to find out what's real? Like, isn't that it's supposed to be part of the job? I know it's not actually anymore. And obviously none of these, people graduating from journalism schools are actually taught how to be journalists anymore. But it should be kind of just go without saying that if you're a journalist and you're looking into something, you should be able to identify what's real, what's not. Spend a lot of money trying to convince us of certain things. Here we go. Liberia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, combat disinformation. None of our goddamn business. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to type in Trump. See if anything comes up. Support for the 2010. So that's 2010. What is this? Let's see. Trump's food interests. But that's not, that's obviously not anything to do with Trump. Trump's. All right. Nevada wants to talk about big balls. All right. Let's talk about big balls. First, let's take a look at this from Milton Friedman. Elon Musk posted this. He says Milton Friedman was spot on. So what did he say? And this is relevant to what's happening with DOGE and USAID.
Keep your eye on one thing and one thing only, how much government is spending, because that's the true tax. Every budget is balanced. There is no such thing as an unbalanced federal budget. You're paying for it. If you're not paying for it in the form of explicit taxes, you're paying for it indirectly in the form of inflation or in the form of borrowing. Keep your eye on one thing.
So keep your eye on the spending. And Elon is posting that. And what is Elon doing? He's following the money. Let's see. Big balls. So who was big balls? Who was big balls? Well, let's hear from CNN about big balls. Let's take a look.
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online. So that would be one.
Oh, I love it. You can see her discomfort there. She's not liking it. She's not liking having to say that. It's so perfect, though.
One way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside DOGE. And we looked into his background. And so we found, several notable things, Aaron, one of which is that this individual has founded multiple companies, including one with another unfortunate name, Tesla.Sexy LLC, which he established in 2021. He would have been around 16 years old. Now, this LLC controls dozens of web domains.
So, Kara, you hear this, and you have known Elon Musk for years. So now you look at these young men who are now in data and in the private information about maybe hundreds of millions of American citizens as young as 19, the big balls here that Katie's talking about.
Big balls here. I mean, they have his actual name, don't they?
Most of them are in their early 20s. There's an exception I'm going to get to in a minute. I'm curious, though, Kara, how well does even Musk know these young men, do you think?
I have no idea. I think there is no vetting whatsoever, as you can see, that's taking place. It took Katie and the really great team. Wired has done an astonishing job here. I could make a joke that's probably why he was hired for all this ridiculous nonsense and other nefarious things. But, there's an expression.
Nefarious things like government transparency, nefarious things like that. That's how you know Trump's a fascist, right? He's letting the public know what their money is being spent on, which is, that's just, so it's so typical of a fascist, of authoritarian, government transparency. So I guess that's it. I've heard enough. So yet nobody should know what the tax dollars are being spent on, or the borrowed money or printed money is being spent on. I'm convinced after watching these three, harpies on CNN. I'm convinced. So I guess $8 million for for Politico, the government to fund propaganda. I guess that's fine. I guess transgender comic books in Peru is fine. I guess it's all just fine. But what happened? So this young guy, and where is he? Where is he in here? Where is Big Ball? There he is. Justin DOGE's Big Balls is back, and he has a new important role at the State Department and has his own government email address now. Big Balls will help save America. There's Big Balls. Greatest threat to democracy in the history of the Republic, I'm saying. This young guy who's probably somewhere on the spectrum, who wrote some spicy tweets when he was a teenager. I think he might still be a teenager. How old is he? Yeah, I think that Elon picked him for a reason. I don't think that he just picks random people. I think he picks people that he thinks are going to actually be able to do the job of finding out relevant information, that's, providing the transparency that the dictator Trump wants to provide. Let's see. Having Doge hire a teen computer whiz nicknamed Big Balls has got to be the biggest troll ever on CNN. The fine ladies of CNN couldn't help themselves. They had to cover it. These are not happy faces. Musk wrote, this was actually on TV. Look at the Chiron. Doge teen known as Big Balls, now a government expert. Liz Wheeler, tell us, did you hire the guy just to make CNN run a headline like that? Reality is better than fiction sometimes. All right. But we're not finished with Big Balls. Big Balls. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, CNN, on the topic of CNN. So here's two tweets, two Twitter posts from 2011 from CNN's Caitlin Collins. So what was she saying? Let's see. Prologue to Canterbury Tales, you fag. Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't know if I want a room with a lesbian. Oh dear. So what? She must have gotten fired from CNN, right? Because that's just intolerable. You can't have that. That's crazy. Let's see. Needless to say, she was forgiven, not fired, just like Joy Reid, who posted homophobic shit too. And there are thousands more examples. So yeah, it's all fine when they do it. Then it's not a big deal. Yeah, she's still with them, Caitlin Collins. Although I think that they paid her way too much and they might be trying to get rid of her. Breaking, Big Balls is back and promoted. Let's take a look.
DOGE talks about the cutting effort. One of the DOGE engineers was fired for some inappropriate posts. The vice president says, bring him back. What do you say?
Well, I don't know about the particular thing, but if the vice president said that, did you say that? I'm with the vice president. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, go ahead, please. Yes, red dress.
DOGE talks about
Yeah, so maybe cancel culture is dead. I mean, you've got a teenager who posted some stuff. I don't know. I haven't even looked at it. I don't care is the thing. I don't care what he wrote. Okay. If you can go on CNN or be on MSNBC like Joy Reid and say the most horrific things about white people, if you can talk about, you post whatever, tweet whatever you like about whiteness, right? Blame white people for all of the world's ills, past, future, and present, right? I don't give a shit what that guy did. I don't care what Big Balls said, right? Don't give a shit. Doesn't matter anymore, okay? If it's perfectly acceptable to go on CNN or CBC or the BBC or wherever and say the most appalling things about white people, particularly white men, right? And that's all fine. Well, then I'm sorry. You've got no leg to stand on. Don't give a shit. Let the teenager give him a break. Don't care. What I care about is whether or not he's actually good at it or not. That's all anybody should be concerned. He's actually going to do a good job. Is he going to help to provide that transparency, root out the corruption? That's the only thing that should matter. They've got no leg to stand on, these people. They have no leg to stand on, these people. They need to clean up their own room first before they complain about anybody else. All right, what did we have? Okay, so JD Vance. So JD Vance weighed in on this. So let's take a look at this. Let's see. So he responds to Ro Khanna here, who's a Democrat. Ro Khanna said, he said this to, oh, here we go. Okay, here's my view. I obviously disagree with some of Ilez's posts. That's big balls, but I don't think stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life. We shouldn't reward journalists who try to destroy people ever. So he says we shouldn't reward journalists who try to destroy people ever. So I say bring him back. If he's a bad dude or a terrible member of the team, fire him for that. So Ro Khanna wrote this. Of course, the virtue signaling is so strong. Are you going to tell him to apologize for saying normalize Indian hate before this rehire? Just asking for the sake of both of our kids. The virtue signaling is so strong. So strong. For one thing, I don't know the context. It's a teenager. Was it joking? Was it ironic? And again, I don't actually care. Again, the left needs to clean up their own room first before they complain about anybody else. Let's see, JD Vance, and he just nails it here. This is what's been missing from the culture and Western civilization for so long. For the sake of both of our kids, grow up. Racist trolls on the internet, while offensive, don't threaten my kids. You know what does? A culture that denies grace to people who make mistakes. A culture that encourages congressmen to act like what? Like what, you ask? To act like whiny children. I wonder if I've got another button for this. Let's see. I don't think that I do. I'll just press this randomly.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Well, let's see what he said next. He said next, I cannot overstate how much I loathe this emotional blackmail pretending to be concern. My kids, God willing, will be risk takers. They won't think constantly about whether a flippant comment or a wrong viewpoint will follow them around for the rest of their lives. They will tell stupid jokes. They will develop views that they later think are wrong or even gross. I made mistakes as a kid, and thank God I grew up in a culture that encouraged me to grow and learn and feel remorse when I screwed up and offer grace when others did. I don't worry about my kids making mistakes or developing views they later regret. I don't even worry that much about trolls on the internet. You know what I do worry about, Ro? That they'll grow up to be a U.S. congressman who engages in an emotional blackmail over a kid's social media posts. You disgust me. That's been missing for far too long. Just call him out on it. Just the bullshit. the bullshit, the fakeness of it, the virtue signaling. Virtue signaling has to just become embarrassing. And J.D. Vance took a step there to making sure it does, that it just becomes kind of a shameful thing, an embarrassing thing. You're just kind of less of a person when you engage in it. This kind of gross, kind of, emotional blackmail, as it's called, over some texts, for God's sakes. All right. So there you got Big Balls. There he is. He knows what he did. All right. All right. What are you guys talking about? Let's check out. Let's see what's going on. Maybe we'll do hold on a second. All right. I think we'll just end the YouTube part of this now. So we'll continue streaming on Rumble and X, but we're going to cut off the YouTube part of this now. So we'll see you tomorrow night, I guess, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern time. See you then on YouTube. But everybody else, hang around. All right. YouTube is over.